this is what we call Tempera Cakes, and we're going to paint with these today. I have my drawing that I've already finished of my Paul Klee inspired cat. And first we're going to talk about Mr. Paintbrush and how we take care of him. Okay, these are the hairs or the bristles of the brush. We always want to keep the paint just on the bristles. We never want to have the paint up here on the ferrule, that's what this is called, or up here on the handle. The handle is what we want to hold, and we don't want paint all over us. We want to get paint on our paper. So when we get paint, we're going to make sure we only get it on the top of the brush where the bristles are. And when we're painting, we always paint gently on the paper. Okay, kind of like a ballerina dances on her toes. We never want it scooting on its bottom like that. The brushes should never ever look like this right there. That will ruin our brushes, and that will make us very sad because it'll be really hard to paint with a ruined brush. So when we're painting, we always do it really gently. Now these paints are dry right now, so if I try to use it, it's not going to paint on my paper. What I have to do is I have to activate the paint with the water. And you'll see at the bottom, there's no paint at the bottom of these. Okay, the paint in the bottom is gone. The paint is all on the sides. So that's where I'm going to put my water. So I'm going to dip my brush in the water. I'm going to wipe it on the lip of the container. And then I'm going to get my paint wet. Now you'll see this yellow isn't really clean, so I'm going to get it wet a little bit to clean it off. I'm going around and I'm just doing it gently and tickling it, and then I'm going to go back in my water and clean out my brush. I'm giving my brush a little bath. I'm dipping, and I'm going to wipe it on the side so it doesn't drip. And I'm going to get this a little more wet. As you see, I don't have a bunch of water at the bottom because that's going to waste our paint. We don't want a bunch of water. I'm just trying to clean off my yellow. Now that yellow looks pretty clean, so I'm going to dip my brush one more time. Wipe it. And then I put my paint up here. And I'm going to get some paint. And then I'm just going to paint right on my paper. And if it's a little bit light, I can go get more paint so that it's a little bit brighter on my paper. Now we never want to mix the colors in the paint. We always want to mix the colors on our paper. So if I wanted to make another color and mix maybe some red with some yellow, I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to dip my brush, wipe it, get a little bit more red, like so. And then, if I want to get yellow, I'm going to make sure I wash my brush off, dip it, wipe it, get some yellow. Then I can mix this yellow with this red. Dip, wipe, get a little bit more yellow. I'm just tickling the paint. And I can mix it all together on my paper. If I'm using the same color, since I just used yellow, I don't have to wash my brush out again. See how I'm just gently, see how my bristles are all staying together on my page when I'm painting. That's how your brush should look. So I'm going to dip, wipe, get some yellow, gonna mix some yellow in with this red. The yellow's not quite as bright as I want it to be, so I'm gonna add a little bit more paint to my paper. The more paint you have, the darker your color is gonna be. The more water you have, the lighter your color is gonna be. So if your color is not dark enough, then you're going to add more paint. And if your color is too dark, you're going to add more water. Done with this, when I go to take it to the drying rack, I'm going to hold it flat like this. I don't ever want to do this with my painting because it'll drip everywhere. I'm going to hold it flat and put my thumbs on top of my paper and take it to Miss Howard where she will put it on the drying rack for me.